I had my best day of the week making $1,700 in just one trade, trading on the right side of VWAP, but also using the 15 minutes to give me a clear read on trend, the same way we did earlier on in the week. Let's take a look at it here. You can see just 1-for-1 to my copied accounts with Top 1 futures. Right now they're running their biggest sale, so I got to take advantage of it. While it's the best to trade on Copier, it's even cheaper to do it on Copier now on Project X. But let's take a look at the setups here. This is classic inducement. So we see how we have movement down to start the open of lower highs and lower lows potentially. This X that I have drawn here is the first break of open range low. That to me is just inducement of shorts that I don't want to short that because I'm not actually bearish on the day. That's where I think it comes in big when you have a bias already. Now, I'm not always going to stay married to that bias, but as we receive more information, I'm going to stick with my bias until I get more information. So look at the left here, you can see the 15-minute daily. We had a pump up pre-market on the CPI news that all this move down here to start the open and before that CPI news or after the CPI news is just a pullback to this daily view up. So that pin down on the left side here is where you're saying, I want to go short. We look super bearish. The 1 minute has opened up. It's 10, 20 minutes into the day. We're so bearish. Well, not really. On the higher time frame, we're making higher highs and higher lows overall in the week. And we're above this yellow view up in start of week, the blue one of previous days New York, and today's overnight. So buyers have been in control across the board. But I'm not bearish. In order for me to sell it, I'm going to need to see some more bearish sentiment for confirmation, right? So if you've seen Futures 2.0, which I talk about on AceFX TV, my course, I don't want to ever chase the first break of open range low because it sometimes is inducement, especially on a day like this when it's counter the 15-minute trend. So for me to get involved in a short, if sellers could have defended this New York and created some more structure in a second break outside the open range low, that would get me involved into shorts because sellers are saying, no, we're actually staying in and we're looking like we want to move lower below the New York view up and below this 15-minute daily view up. But as long as we're above it, I'm not interested in shorts because exactly like this happens. You want to long it in the middle of the range and cover all your bases with a stop loss at the low. Because if that 15-minute pin fills, then we are below the daily view up and maybe we are going back lower, right? So I have great risk reward to there and I'm trading to the top of the range, right? So the first exit would be top of the range. You can squeeze out a little bit more if you leave a runner on, but regardless, trading from the middle of the range, stop loss at the low, taking profits at the top. And before I get into my trade Zella, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart here so you can see just exactly what I mean by that bullish bias. So coming into the day, right, this is where that trade is of saying, I want to go short here. We look super bearish. We've had 10, 15 minutes of bearish sentiment to start the open. This looks super bearish. When I zoom it out from Monday into Wednesday, are you sure about that? Insert that meme of that guy. Are you sure about that? Because I don't think so. Because we're retesting that daily VWAP. This looks like it's probably just our next higher low. Now, did we come lower the rest of the session? We did. So I was wrong. But I still made money because I'm trading on the current right side of VWAP. So like I said, if this were to crack lower, okay, cool. We are actually moving lower. Let me look for shorts. But with the information I had at this time, I have to keep on leaning for longs. So let's go to the trade Zella here and you can see my report card. That's this markup we just went over. Probably just go easier to go to the Monday one because that's where I grabbed it from. That this is Monday's long. Let's grab the 15-minute markup so it's going to make sense. It's the same idea. I made a video about this day as well. This move down at the open is not making me interested in shorts because all that is just the retest to this 15-minute daily view up where I'm looking for the pop-up, which is exactly what we get. So I long it in the middle of the range, stop loss at the bottom, trading it to the top. Pretty repetitive. I did it on Monday. It's exactly what presented today here on Wednesday. It's the exact same setup, exact same idea and thesis on the 15-minute, exact same stop loss on the 1 minute with our levels and our ranges. And kind of, when we go over other markups here, you can see on this trade, this was the next following trade, right? I wasn't right on the longs ripping all day. That's where we made our money in that pop. And then we get a clean retest to New York. Buyers are stepping in. That's the best place to find our next higher low. And it even breaks the high of day view up. But no follow through. The bullish trend did not continue. So I had so many people DM me this markup saying, what was wrong with this trade? Why did I lose? What did I miss? You didn't miss anything. Trades are going to lose. This would have won, as silly as it sounds, if trend were to continue to the upside. Because you have a really great price at New York view up and open range high and a great stop loss. But it lost because trend no longer continued. It actually shifted back down and turned into a bearish day, which I did not see coming. And we didn't see that coming given all the structure we had to start the day. Who saw shorts coming in? With the information we had, I did not see them coming in. So with the information you did have at the time of this entry, that's a solid long. You take that on the chin, you move on. Now, the rest of the day, this gets a little bit tricky. Notice how, and I always say it all the time, of knowing your best structure and knowing what your best trades look like, that we have a break for a new low of day. That's new information. It's now a new lower low, right? It's different than back here. Does this turn into a higher low and we do rip higher? Maybe. But we just technically made a lower low. No doubt about it. So now longs are going to just be tough because I know my best longs don't follow a lower low or a new low a day. That now I'm asking for a new high a day? No, my best longs are going to come after making a new high of day, pull back, let's go make the next new high. And I'll take back that in a second. So it pulls back. I know a lot of people probably jumped into longs above New York VWAP, which isn't terrible. But it's just tough because, well, we made a new low of day. So now I kind of see it as lower high, lower low. What I'm trading up here runs the risk of being another lower high, which is what it was. And we get another lower low. So we're kind of longing it into bearish structure, short term, right? So this was not something I took, but this would be the idea of a strong break back below New York, stop loss at the lower high, and it's a break of lower day view up, you'll get that next lower low. And at that time, you are back below the daily view up just slightly, not the best. But that is a viable idea, not something I would have taken or did take, just because it's inside the range. I still do kind of see the longs on the 15-minute, but it's always good to mark it up and practice and say, where was the money? Where was the losing trades that I could have avoided, should have avoided, and that I want to be in next time? But like I said, if you took this long here, take it on the chin. That's a great long. It's off structure. You always got to ask yourself, if this were to win without me and just make a clean next higher high, and I wasn't in it, what excuse am I going to have? And would I be pissed off? Why didn't I long it there? What did I think that didn't look bullish? It's off my key levels. There's identifiable clean trend. The 15 minutes bullish as well. Why am I not long? Right? So the reason I wasn't long is because I maxed out my profits, thankfully, on that first trade. But just overall, if you did take this, take it on the chin, hopefully not too heavily sized, then now you're maxing loss and you can't try to maybe take the shorts later on. So like I said, my best trades come after making a new high of day. That would be this. New high of day, pull back. Let's go make the next new high. Now, kind of being a hypocrite, but for different reasons, my long back here just made a new low a day, technically. Did it not? Yes, it did. But I'm making it worth the risk because of that 15-minute, right? If the 15-minute did not look bullish like this and we're not right at the daily view up, I'm not longing this because this probably does want to form a lower high and come back down for a lower low. But again, because of my higher time frame bullish bias, that's why I'm comfortable taking this new low a day followed by let me go get a new high a day. So hopefully that clears the air and makes things make sense. So it's like, what do you mean he doesn't long it after a new low a day? He just did that at the open. But hopefully I explained it pretty well. And again, all these are taught in Futures 2.0 here on ASFX TV. Here's all the live streams. But if you sign up with code EVAN, you get access to my full strategy, everything that you need, entry, exit, risks, payout. I mean, you see it. There it all is. So if you want to check that out, I go more into detail on all these setups. And one last thing, I made videos about all these days. This is Wednesday, like I was saying, pretty identical to Mondays as well. Let's go to this setup. Notice how it's a new high of day. Pull back. Let's go make the next new high of day. That's where our best longs look like for the most part, right? 9 out of 10, because now we're following the bullish structure. So reverting back to this previous trade we were just going over, could this one, I don't even have the long marked up, do I? I may not. Let me go see real quick. Low day break now. Notes, lower high, lower low. Yeah, so this is on a 2-minute. Maybe you could see this a little bit better. But just saying now you could see from the open, lower high, lower low, slight lower high. It ends up being a lower high here. Oh, sorry. This was a lower low. And we get another lower low. So yeah, overall it is slightly falling. But I mean, damn, that's tough price action. In the range, going back on the week, it's kind of been the theme of we're making nice, easy money longs in the open. And then it just kind of fizzles out. Right, we can go back to the 15-minute real quick. And you can see we made our money long. What day was that? That was here. In the open, giant pullback. Went even higher, another giant pullback. And then even on this day, Wednesday, this day we're going over, the high was set and it actually came back down the rest of the day. So it's like I was right on making money long, but it didn't sustain very long. So that's why you don't marry your biases. You read and react. At this moment, it looks bullish because of X, Y, and Z. Let me base off of that. Until I get more information, maybe I'll switch to shorts. Right? And it's the same thing for all these days. So hopefully you guys find value in it. Make sure to check out the top one while they're running their 55% off sale, depending on when you're watching this. You can copy up to 7 accounts of their new Pro Sims, or Sim Pros. So definitely check that out. I'm going to test those as well. I know a lot of people on stream are starting to trade with them. So I'm interested to hear your guys' feedback on it, what you guys think about it. But yeah, overall, great markups, great lessons, great to make money this week. I mean, we could go, I think I'm up almost 5K, 4.1K, like I was saying, 1.7 today. Beautiful, beautiful. Keep stacking day by day. One simple trade, two simple trades, right? I have a couple days with two trades for sure. But overall, don't risk too heavy on one given trade. Stick to the plan. You could see Monday and Wednesday were identical. They're not always going to be. But in general, they got the same basis, the same variables that we're playing. So I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Trade safe. See you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.